My people can regrow arms faster than you finish a drink, slurred Cathal the Guron, wobbling on his thick legs as he lifted yet another glass of earth whiskey to his wide frog-like mouth. The dive bar was dim and smoky, the kind of place where humans had seen every kind of chaos, but tonight was different. Tonight they were sharing stools with an interstellar delegation of aliens eager to try humanity's oldest ritual, getting loud and hopelessly drunk. Cathal was the liveliest of the crew, his glowing skin flashing a dangerous shade of green that pulsed with his mood, or rather his booming blood alcohol level. He had somehow ended up at a table of off-duty mechanics and miners who leaned closer to catch every garbled sentence. I mean, who needs healing, he rambled, nearly tipping over. We just bask in sunlight and boom, instant power, none of this messy stuff. You humans seem obsessed with the workers laughed, raising their glasses to clink with the alien in that old gesture of shared fun. Nearby, another glurk named Pook tried to follow the rules of a human dart game with a battered board and sharp steel tips. Pook was failing horribly, but the humans were laughing too hard to care. You humans, Cathal pushed on, putting in so much effort for so little reward. Have you ever tried photosynthesis? It's like soaking in a hot bath for hours, no swiping, no what's it called Tinder. The room howled with laughter as Cathal swayed and then caught himself against the table. One miner, a bearded brute named Joe, clapped Cathal on the back hard enough to send his luminescence into a wild rainbow frenzy. You guys kill me, Joe wheezed, wiping his eyes. But you're right, dating's a mess. At least we get wild tales from it. Tales, yes. Cathal nodded sagely, or as sagely as one half-smashed alien could be. Our stories are mostly about the sun and glowing in it. Across the counter, the bartender Mar, an old woman with silver hair, watched with both humor and mild worry. She'd seen plenty running this place, but drunk aliens were a first. She poured another round, wondering just how much whiskey it would take to knock a Guron flat. A roar rose from the dark corner as Pook, by dumb luck, hit the bullseye. He threw his arms up, nearly smashing a table. The humans cheered and shoved another drink into his webbed hand, which he gulped happily. You humans are bizarre, Pook muttered, shaking his head, making games of throwing knives at boards while buzzed. What's the purpose? Joe shrugged, fun. I guess bragging rights not so different from what you folks do, right? Pook thought about it, then nodded slowly. We have contests of strength and stamina, but nothing like this. This is unique. The slurred words were met with another round of applause. The mood of the bar had shifted from uneasy curiosity to honest friendship. Humans and Guron united in the pursuit of ridiculous drunken joy. Just then the door banged open and in strode Captain Lisa Ramos, head of the Human-Alien Exchange Program. Her eyes widened at the sight, aliens and humans roaring with laughter together in what looked like utter chaos. What in the stars is happening here? She barked, though the hint of a smile tugged her lips. Cathal lifted his glass in a clumsy salute. Captain, we were just conducting deep field studies on human culture. Lisa sighed, shaking her head. Well, I suppose this is one path to interspecies understanding. A miner staggered forward, grinning. Hey Cap, these Guron throw the best parties, come join us. Lisa scanned the faces flushed with drink and mirth, and realized that even if messy, this night was different. Walls were falling faster than the ice in their glasses. All right, but only one, she said, dropping onto a stool. I've got a reputation to keep. The night blurred into noise, stories and drinks, proving this was more than a bar crawl. It was true connection between two worlds. Even at the edge of the galaxy, a simple toast could bind strangers. Eventually Cathal slumped back, his glow fading as he reached his limit. You humans, you're not bad, he mumbled with a lazy grin. Joe raised his glass one final Time to new friends in this crazy universe that brought us together. Glasses clashed, and under the neon haze of a run-down bar, humans and Guron carved a bond no treaty or council could ever. The next morning the bar looked like a war zone. Overturned stools, empty mugs, and 2 Gurons sprawled across the floor in a deep, unshakable sleep. Captain Lisa Ramos groaned, rubbing her temples to ease the pounding in her head. The sight of Cathal and Pook snoring softly made her laugh. Despite her hangover, she scanned the room for Mar, the bartender, who was already tidying up with the precision of someone who had cleaned chaos 1,000 times. Mar caught Lisa's gaze and gave a knowing smile. Quite a night, wasn't it? She said, setting down a tray of steaming coffee mugs. Lisa gratefully accepted one. Yeah, more than I bargained for, but it did wonders for morale, both human and Guron. Mar chuckled. It was good to see everyone cutting loose. The Guron are better company than I ever expected. Lisa sipped the coffee, savoring the warmth. Who would have thought diplomacy could be achieved through drinks in a rundown bar? Just then Cathal stirred, his bioluminescent skin flickering back to life. He blinked groggily before managing a sheepish grin. Captain, forgive our excess. Earth whiskey is stronger than we imagined. Lisa laughed. Don't worry, Cathal, we all needed to unwind. Besides, last night we learned a lot about each other. Cathal's glow softened to a gentle green, showing his gratitude. Indeed, there is much to share between us, though I must admit your rituals of relaxation are very unusual. Pook, now awake and equally dazed, joined the talk. I agree, human bonding customs are fascinating. Last night was truly an eye-opening lesson. As the Guron shook off their grogginess, the human patrons began to shuffle back in, just as hungover but in high spirits. Joe, the miner who had bonded with Cathal, clapped him on the shoulder. Morning, friend, how you holding up? Joe asked with a grin. Cathal chuckled, his skin flashing a faint shade of blue. I believe I'll survive, though I may need to rethink my tolerance. The bar soon buzzed again with chatter as humans and Guron shared breakfast, swapping more tales. The awkward novelty of interspecies contact was fading, replaced by real camaraderie. They laughed over last night's antics, marveled at their differences, and found unexpected common ground. As the morning wore on, Captain Ramos raised her voice. All right, everyone, last night was great, but duty calls. Let's make sure this exchange stays respectful and useful. Heads nodded in agreement. The party had broken down walls, but now came the real work. Cathal stepped up to Lisa, his expression sincere. Captain, thank you for this chance. It's clear we can learn much from one another. Last night was only the beginning. Lisa smiled. You're right, Cathal, and I look forward to what comes next. But maybe we pace ourselves better next time. The Guron let out a rich melodic laugh. Agreed, though I've gained a new respect for human ways. Your ability to connect through joy is something we can admire. In the following days, the partnership between humans and Guron flourished. The bonds formed in that bar carried into their work. They tackled challenges together, blending strengths and perspectives to craft inventive solutions. What began as a casual night out evolved into a collaboration founded on respect and trust. Miners, inspired by Guron stamina, adopted safer, efficient methods, while the Guron embraced human ingenuity and adaptability. The result was a model of teamwork. Captain Ramos watched with pride. That night in the dive bar had been a spark. Now she saw humans and Guron working seamlessly side by side, the clumsy beginnings replaced with true unity. One afternoon, while she was reviewing reports, Cathal approached her with a thoughtful look. Captain, we have shown our species can thrive together. I suggest we document this, create a guide for future exchanges. Lisa nodded at once. That's brilliant, Cathal. Our story could become a roadmap for others. Let's begin. They started drafting their guide filled with lessons learned and bonds formed. It was clear the journey had only begun. The tale of humans and Guron laughing over drinks would echo for generations, a testament to the power of connection in unforeseen places. In the end, it wasn't formal councils or signed treaties that sealed their alliance. It was a night of shared laughter in a dingy bar under flickering neon, where two species discovered that at heart they were both simply beings craving connection. Months passed since that unforgettable night, and the alliance had become extraordinary. Their unity showed not just in labor but in daily life. Humans and Guron mingled in markets, traded recipes, and joined each other's festivals. The joint guidebook Ramos and Cathal prepared was nearly done, with chapters on culture conflict and the unexpected benefits of shared celebration. It was fast becoming a symbol of hope for interstellar relations. One evening, as the sun dipped low, bathing the settlement in gold, a ceremony was held to honor their success. Humans and Guron gathered in the central plaza, the heart of their unity. Captain Ramos stepped onto the stage, her voice ringing out. Her voice carried a tone of pride and gratitude. Tonight, we honor not only what we've accomplished but the journey that brought us here. When this mission first began, none of us could have foreseen the bond that would grow between our peoples. It stands as proof of our shared spirit and the strength of connection. Cathal stepped forward, his skin glowing a calm, serene blue. We have learned much from one another. What started as a simple exchange of knowledge has blossomed into a true and lasting friendship. We are grateful for your openness and your willingness to welcome us. The crowd answered with applause, a harmonious mix of human cheers and Guron tones. As the ceremony went on, stories were retold about the legendary night at the bar. Joe, the miner who had become Cathal's closest human friend, spoke with a grin. That night, we found out aliens can get just as drunk as us. It was the start of something incredible. We laughed, we learned, and realized we're not so different after all. Mar, the bartender, chimed in, her eyes sparkling with amusement. I'll never forget the sight of a Guron trying to throw darts, but more than that, I'll remember how we all came together, tearing down walls with every toast. The celebration echoed with laughter and warmth, capturing the spirit of that first wild gathering. As the evening wound down, Lisa and Cathal found a quiet moment under the stars. We've come so far, Lisa said softly. I never dreamed we'd achieve this much so quickly. Cathal nodded. Indeed, our bond has become a model for others. It proves that even the unlikeliest friendships can take root and thrive. As the festivities closed, the air was heavy with hope. Humans and Guron together had carved a new path, one that promised cooperation, respect, and shared growth. Their story would inspire others to seek common ground, to look beyond differences and find strength in unity. In the days that followed, their guidebook was finished and spread across colonies. It was embraced, eagerly praised as a groundbreaking testament to the power of interspecies collaboration. Soon its principles were adopted in other settlements and even reached the chambers of distant interstellar councils. Cathal and Pook became ambassadors, traveling from world to world, carrying their lessons with them. Joe and Captain Ramos joined their journeys, offering the human side of the story. Their speeches drew curiosity, admiration, and sometimes laughter as they retold the night when everything began in a shabby dive bar, reminding audiences that connection often starts in the simplest of places. Back in their settlement, life thrived. The bar, once ordinary, now stood as a landmark, visited by travelers from across the stars, eager to see where the first bond between humans and Guron had been forged. Mar welcomed them warmly, proud of the role her little place had played. One afternoon, as Lisa crossed the plaza, she spotted Cathal and Joe sitting together, laughing over a shared memory. It had become a familiar and heartening sight, proof of how far they'd all come. Cathal noticed her and waved. Captain, join us, we're just laughing about the time Pook tried to teach Joe how to photosynthesize. Lisa chuckled, taking a seat. I wouldn't miss it for anything. These are the moments that matter. Joe lifted his glass. Here's to many more, and to the strange universe that brought us together. They raised their drinks in unison, a small gesture now filled with immense meaning, and under the fading light of the setting sun they celebrated not only their past but the brilliant future they had built together, a future where humans and Guron, bound by friendship and shared experience, would continue to grow side by side.